I'm talking about you. Stop having boring photos and stop having or delivering very flat images. So in this tutorial, I'll show you guys how you can add some kind of dynamic range or adding that kind of three-dimension kind of feel to your images so that they don't look flat, and you also deliver those nice and appealing photos to your clients. Hello, what's up YouTube? Ronix with it and tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys about the wonderful method about global dodging and burning. So basically, what is dodging and burning? So by dodging and burning, we'll be enhancing the highlights and the shadows of specific areas in the image. Remember, after doing skin retouching, oftentimes we tend maybe to have a flat image and we lose out on those nice and rich highlights and shadows. So in this case, I want to show you guys that when you're doing skin retouching, for example, we tend to blend or we get rid of some important highlights and we end up distorting the original shape of maybe the facial structures or the glow within the images. So by just drawing lines, I'll show you guys this technique and you are going to be finding it really helpful in your future retouching processes. So this technique has to be done after doing the skin retouching. The reason being, when you do it before doing your skin retouching, you're going to be eliminating that during the skin retouching, and you may have to do it yet again, or you may lose out on your effort or what you may have done to the image where you're trying to create that kind of three-dimension kind of feel to your portrait. So let me show you guys the most important thing for this tutorial. So you can see that this image is really nice and fine, and I already did the color grading and maybe I did the retouching tutorial for this image, and it is a full tutorial. I'm just going to link for you guys right above here, so that if I told you can be interested, you can check it out. So I'm just going to come to, this is the image and only have the background there. So usually after doing skin retouching, you may be having a couple of layers, but this doesn't really matter. You can as well merge them, but you can as well retain your original layers. So I'm just going to come to adjustments and I'm going to come to where it says curves adjustment layers. So just click on curves, and this is the curves adjustment layer. So we have where it says properties. So I just want you guys to mark the word properties. So after we have made this, remember when we are dodging and burning, rather, we'll be enhancing the highlights and the shadows. So by dodging, we'll be enhancing or making the highlights a little bit more pronounced, and when we are burning, we'll be burning the shadows or even making the shadows a little bit more evident and pronounced in the images. So that is what we're going to do. So you're just going first of all dodge, and when you're dodging with this technique, just come and make a midpoint right here. And when you make this midpoint, just click in the middle of this line. I hope you can see it. Just click in the middle and just take it all the way up. So just take it up. Don't mind if at all the image is turning up a little bit overexposed, but just turn it up until the highlights of the image are really turning out to look more all white in color. So after doing that, just come and close this right there and make sure this white mask is selected. Just come, we're just going first of all rename this to dodge. So I'm just going to name this dodge, just like that. So you can see that the image has really turned out to look really overexposed. So what we want to do, we're just going to come to this white layer mask and we just want to revert or invert this layer. Remember in Photoshop, white reveals, that's why you can see the effect. So just want to hide it behind a black mask, meaning black hides. So just come and select this white layer mask and hit Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard. So Ctrl I or Command I to hide or invert that effect. So after we have done that, we're just going to come back to the curves adjustment layers, and we are going to be doing the opposite in this case. So just come to where it says curves, just like that, and just click in the middle. Just click in the middle, and this time around turn it all the way down until we have less information in the shadows or in the dark areas. So I think this looks fine, and just close this. Make sure the white layer mask is selected and hit Ctrl or Command I. Like I said, in Photoshop, white reveals and black hides. So just want to hide the effect from affecting the image. So just come and hit Ctrl. While the white layer mask is selected, hit Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard to hide that effect, and we're going to name it. Remember, we just darkened the image, so we're just going to name it burn, just like that. So what we want to do, we just want to put all these layers into a group. So hit Ctrl or Command and select both layers. Click on both layers and hit Ctrl G or Command G. G for girl, G for good. So hit Ctrl G on the keyboard and just group that. So I'm just going to name these two Dodge and Burn. So you may be wondering, like, I've not done anything to the image yet. So let's see. You can say there is no effect at all. So just open your Dodge and Burn group. So here's where you have to pay maximum attention. So what I want to show you guys is simply come to where it says under the brushes. So just right click and get a soft round brush. So just get the brush tool, and for the settings simply come and make sure the hardness is at 0. The mode is normal, opacity and the flow at 100%, smoothing at 0, and now come and first of all click on the black mask of the Dodge layer. And after doing that, just come to these color swatches. Remember, we can be having different colors right here, and in order to reset or have the default of these colors, just come and simply click on these two tiny boxes that you're seeing right here to reset into black and white. So remember, we just want to reveal what has been hidden behind this black layer mask. So meaning we just have to paint with a white brush. So just come to these color swatches and make sure that white is on top, or you can use X on the keyboard to switch between black and white. You can see that. So make sure white is on top, meaning the brush is going to be white in color. And now you can zoom in slightly. So we're just going to be drawing lines on the areas that have highlights of this image. So just come and click. So left click and draw a line depending on what you're using to retouch anyway. So I feel like we have a highlight right here. Just draw a line. We have this one on the cheekbone. Reduce on the size by using the box brackets on the keyboard to reduce on the size of your brush. So you can see the right one is going to increase on the size and the left one is going to decrease on the size. That is for the box brackets on the keyboard. So just draw lines on every area you feel should have had a highlight in this image. So just come and draw a line. So I feel like this area had a highlight, so just going to draw a line, and I feel like this had a highlight. So I think that this is really fine for a start. So we're just going to come and do the same for our burn layer, and this time around we're just going to come and reduce on the size and come and draw a line right here. So we're just going to draw small lines depending on how pronounced that shadow is or that area is. So reduce on the size if at all you have to draw on a smaller area, and just come and draw a line just like that, and come this side and also draw a line. So we're basically drawing lines on areas we feel should have had shadows in this image. So I feel like that looks fine, and I could come back to the Dodge layer and I just draw more lines on the lips so that we can have more shine or a glow on those areas. I think this looks fine. So this is what we have so far, and now what we want to, we just want to fade these lines into the image. And in order to fade them, there are two different ways in which you can do this. The very first one is simply coming to window and you come to properties while this black mask is selected. So come to window, then come to properties, or you could rather just come and double click on this black layer mask, and you'll have the properties option displaying right now. So with the dodge layer mask selected, just come in, look where it says feather, and just left click right here and start moving it towards the right hand side slowly as you're looking at the white lines. Remember, the white lines were showing the highlights and the black lines were showing the shadows. So just come in, move just like that, and you can see that the lines start getting absorbed into the image just like that. So I think that looks fine, and you're going to do the same for the shadow area. So just come and click right here. You don't have to double click because the properties option is still open. So just single click right there, and now click on the feather option and just move it. So just move it gradually up to a point when that line starts disappearing into, or looking like it is part of the skin. I hope you can see this, and I think this looks fine to me. So let's just close that and we see what we have so far right now. So we're just going to close the group and see the before and after. Before after, you can see that the image has turned out to look or have that nice and beautiful glow, and it is not looking as flat as it was before. So that's the before and after, before and after. And when you feel like the effect is too much, just come, you can come and be like, maybe the dodge is too much, just come and click on it and reduce on the opacity. It is just as simple as that. So I'm just going to leave everything at maximum and close this. And when you feel like it is affecting the colors in the image, just come to the blend mode and change it from normal and change it to luminosity, and you can click on the burn and also change the blend mode to luminosity. So let's just close this. So this is the before after. Before after, you can see that we have just added shape and dimension to the model's face. So basically this is how to get more exciting portraits and add that kind of shape or dimension to your images, so that you don't deliver flat photos to your clients. And if at all you have found this really helpful, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe this channel. If at all you have been watching from this channel for the very first time, Ronix from Ronix Photography, thank you for watching. I'll see you in yet more amazing tutorials, and don't forget to keep practicing and keep creating.